They always said a woman can't keep secrets forever, but I thought I was different. I had it all locked up behind careful smiles and polished countertops. No one could guess what I'd done, what I'd hidden. Not even my son, especially not him. Until the day his eyes lingered too long and I knew he'd figured something out. And that's when everything began to unravel. My name is Caroline Walker. I live in a quiet suburb in Ohio, in a 2-story house with a red door and blue shutters. My son, Jason, had always been a quiet boy. Smart, thoughtful, the kind of kid who read books instead of playing video games, who liked chess more than baseball. I raised him alone after his father walked out on us when he was 6. Since then, it was always just us, mother and son, close in ways that made others envious. But lately, something had changed. He wasn't acting like my boy anymore. He was watching me, not just watching me, studying me. It started with small things. He'd brush against me in the kitchen a little too often. He'd sit too close on the couch when we watched old black and white movies. His thigh pressed against mine a moment longer than it needed to. I told myself I was imagining it. I'd been alone too long, and my mind was playing tricks on me. But then I started catching him in moments he didn't mean to be caught. The way his eyes followed me when I bent down to pick something up. The way he paused when I emerged from the bathroom in my robe. There was something in his eyes, not childish curiosity, but something heavier. One evening, I'd poured a glass of wine and stepped out onto the back deck. The sky was painted with streaks of violet and orange. I was in a silk nightgown, soft and flowing, something I wore when I needed to feel like a woman instead of a single mother. I didn't hear the screen door open behind me, but I felt him. Jason stood there, leaning against the frame, staring at me as though he'd never really seen me before. He said nothing, just looked. I turned my face toward the setting sun, pretending not to notice, but I felt that look on my skin. Later that night, I found my bedroom door slightly ajar. I always closed it fully before bed. A breeze from the hallway whispered in, and I sat up alert. Then I heard footsteps. Slow, careful. I waited. Nothing. I stood and pulled the door shut. When I turned, I could have sworn I saw a shadow move across the hallway wall. I told myself it was just the wind. The next morning, something was off. My phone was missing. I tore through the sheets, the couch cushions, the kitchen drawers. Jason found it. He said it had fallen into the laundry basket. I knew it hadn't. When I checked the camera roll, there were no new photos. But I also knew what had been on there before. Harmless, maybe, but not meant for anyone's eyes. Not his. Then came the night he confronted me. We were sitting at the dinner table. The lights were low, the clink of forks on plates the only sound. Jason set his fork down and looked at me. "You've been lying to me," he said. My stomach clenched. "What are you talking about?" "I know things. Things you didn't want me to know." I forced a smile. "Jason, you're not making sense." He leaned in, eyes fixed on mine. "I saw the pictures, Mom." I froze. He didn't blink. "The ones you thought you deleted. The ones where you're not exactly dressed for church." "Jason." I didn't mean to see them, but once I did, I couldn't forget. I stood up. My voice was sharp. "That's enough." He stayed seated, calm. "You've been alone for a long time. I get it, but so have I. We understand each other better than anyone else ever could. Don't lie to me again." I went to my room, shut the door, and locked it. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't. His words echoed over and over. "Don't lie to me again." I started watching him after that, studying him the way he'd studied me. He spent more time in the garage, locked the door when he was inside. I found scraps of paper in his trash with strange notes scribbled in tight handwriting. My name, dates, times, as if he were keeping track of me, following my movements. A week later, I received an email from an unknown address. No message, just an attachment. A video. I clicked it, my heart pounding. It was security footage from inside the house, from my bedroom. I recognized the angle, Hi, looking down on the bed. The clip was short, me tossing in my sleep, the hem of my nightgown riding up, the sheets twisting. Nothing graphic, but suggestive enough. I closed the laptop and covered my mouth. Jason had installed a camera. I confronted him that night. He didn't deny it. He said he needed to understand me. Said he was just trying to get close. I told him he'd crossed a line, that what he was doing was wrong. But he just looked at me with those same calm, unblinking eyes. You don't mean that, he said. You're just scared of how you feel. I'm scared of you. He smiled. I started planning then. I called a friend who worked in private security. I asked questions. I started checking the house, under furniture, behind vents, even inside picture frames. I found 2 more hidden cameras. Both were removed. I changed my locks. I changed my passwords. But he was always 2 steps ahead. He slipped notes under my door. Always typed. Always and signed. You can't keep hiding forever. You need me as much as I need you. It's only a matter of time. Then the most chilling one. You hurt someone once to protect a secret. I know. I found her name. I stared at that note for what felt like hours, because I knew exactly who he meant. Her name was Marla, a friend I'd made when Jason was 8. She found out something she shouldn't have. About me. About what I'd done to Jason's father. I told Marla to stay away, but she didn't. And one rainy night, her brakes failed. She never made it past the intersection. That secret was buried deeper than any other. No one had ever linked me to it. But now my son had. He wasn't just watching me. He was digging into me. And I was running out of time. One night, I waited until he left the house. He said he was going to the gym, but I knew better. I accessed his laptop. It was locked, but I'd guessed the password weeks ago, my middle name Elaine. I found a folder buried in the documents. It was titled The Truth. Inside were screenshots, emails, photos, old newspaper clippings, and recordings, so many recordings. Phone calls, my voice. Jason had been recording me for months, watching, archiving, preparing. I copied everything to a flash drive and deleted what I could. But I knew he had backups. He always did. That night I couldn't breathe. I stayed up pacing the hallway, trying to figure out what to do. Then I heard a voice behind me. Looking for something. Jason stood there, holding his phone. You were in my room. I had to. He stepped forward. I don't want to hurt you, Mom, but you've lied too much. You've hidden too much.